I'm Sasha Schwendenwein, and you're watching GBC World News, a broadcast from Houston, Texas. Thank you for watching us. At least 35 people are dead and 200 injured following a railway accident in eastern China.
Carriages dangle from a bridge following a deadly train crash in China. At least 35 people died and 200 were injured in the accident, which happened in the eastern province of Zhejiang Saturday. Rescue workers continued to search the wreckage for survivors on Sunday. But officials warn the death toll from the crash, the worst on China's rails since 2008, could rise. Survivors, taken to a nearby hospital, say they are lucky to be alive.
At the time, I was extremely nervous, but I thought it's okay so long as my grandson is okay. But my grandson was fine. He said, "Granny, don't worry, I'm fine. We'll be out quickly."
Others describe the accident as harrowing.
Suddenly there was a loud bang. After that, the train broke. It was all dark and we couldn't see anything. There were a few loud sounds again. At first I wasn't scared because I thought it was a minor accident, like when cars just scratch each other. After I got down, then I realized how scary it was.
The crash happened near the city of Wenzhou when a high-speed train smashed into a stalled bullet train. It was a major blow to China's rail network, which Beijing has spent billions of dollars upgrading over the last several years.
Three people are killed after a military helicopter crashes in a Thai jungle, the third such accident in 9 days.
The wreckage of another military helicopter burns in a Thai jungle. The chopper crashed early Saturday morning in the western part of the country, killing 3. It was the third Thai helicopter to crash in the area in the last 9 days. The Bell 212 was part of a mission to retrieve the bodies of 7 people who died in another helicopter crash on Tuesday. In all, 17 people have died in the 3 crashes. Many of Thailand's military helicopters are decades old, with some even used in the Vietnam War.
NATO troops handed over security responsibility to Afghan forces in the northeastern province of Panjshir on Sunday, capping an initial transition phase of security control. But at a ceremony to mark the transition in Panjshir, Afghan Defense Minister Rahim Wardak said forces from the NATO-led International Security Assistance Force would continue to remain in the country to train the Afghan troops. The security handovers in the past week are the very first step in a slow process that aims to put the Afghan army and police in control across the country by the end of 2014. Secrecy shrouded the first handover last Sunday on the central province amid Taliban attack threats and in the shadow of the July 12th assassination of President Karzai's powerful but controversial brother, Ahmed Wali Karzai. In the past week, ISAF also handed over the northern city of Mazar-i-Sharif, its most eastern province.
Our main priorities remain unchanged. Build and reinforce the Afghan government's competence and capacity in the unified effort to protect the population. Connect the people to their government and enable sustainable development to improve the lives of the Afghan people. The defense and security of the Afghan people are the center of our efforts.
But the Taliban-led insurgency, which has been fighting Afghan and foreign troops for the past decade, made its mark during the transition week. Gunmen killed a top Karzai advisor and member of the country's parliament in a district of Kabul. A bomb attached to a bicycle exploded in northern Mazar-i-Sharif, killing at least 5 civilians and 7 policemen. The attack took place at a checkpoint on the outskirts of the city. The first phase of transition began several days after the first U.S. troops left Afghanistan as part of U.S. President Barack Obama's planned drawdown of about a third of the 100,000 U.S. forces there in the next year. The surge of U.S. troops has helped improve security in the south of the country over the last year, but there has been spreading insecurity in once peaceful northern areas, fierce fighting in the east, and record civilian casualties. The initial security handovers have been described by foreign military officials as mostly soft openings, because they are effectively under Afghan control already. The next phase of security transition is yet to be announced. Norwegians mourned the nearly 100 killed in a bomb blast and shooting spree Friday, as police announced the gunman claims he acted alone.
A church service in Norway honors victims of Friday's bomb blast and summer camp shooting. The royal family joined mourners in praying for the nearly 100 people killed, many of them teenagers. Police are still searching for more victims after Norwegian Anders Behring Breivik shocked the country with the attacks. The streets of the capital Oslo were empty Sunday, and much of the city remained barricaded. Some laid flowers and lit candles at a memorial near Oslo's main church. 2 days after the incidents, Gary Hodgson, a Canadian living in Norway, said he was still trying to grasp the tragedy.
I guess you're initially just shocked. Reminded me of 9/11. I remember that whole incident being back in the States, and still hasn't sunk in, I guess.
If convicted on terrorism charges, Breivik could face 21 years in prison. Police said Sunday he claims to have acted alone.
He has admitted that he was responsible for the bomb attack and for the killing of those people out on the island.
On Saturday, his lawyer said the defendant had called his actions atrocious but necessary.
You're watching GBC World News. Stay with us after this break, and we bring you the news from the United States.